Hi, I'm Gretchen Filiot with USA Loves Manufacturing. For today's Manufacturing and Tech Moment, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to be highlighting and focusing on small business in America. We're going to be highlighting companies and people out in the fabric of America and let them tell their story. Today, I'm very excited to have Jeff Riggen. He's with Riggen's Custom Woodcraft, and the company is in Liston, Indiana. So, hi, Jeff. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm so happy to be able to tell your story.
Sure. Thanks for having me, Gretchen. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so you're kind of our first guest, but we really felt like it was time to, get to small business and let you guys kind of tell your story, promote a product or service, and let America know what you're doing, because that is the fabric of America. The people, the small businesses that are out there making it happen every day. So give us an idea of what your business is about and how you decided to start a small business.
Well, I started out just making a piece at the job I used to have at work, and I really just wanted to see if I could do it. That's all it was. And as I progressed with this thing, people started encouraging me to do something with it. And I've actually got my first piece here, the first one that I ever made, so I can show that to you. But I've always had an interest in woodworking as well. I have a brother who is a furniture maker out in West Virginia, and it's always interested me to do something with it. So after I got this first piece made, and again, I had so much encouragement. My son wanted one that I made, and so what I did was I took the initial design and updated it, reworked it, and made it into a much better product than where I started. And I've had a lot of help along the way, and it's just really grown.
That's really great. Yeah, they're beautiful pieces too.
Thank you.
I know that the different wood that you're using and the different designs, just very beautiful. It's almost like an art. So I think that's probably part of it too, that creativity and building the business. So you're able to do something that is your passion, but also you can start a business and make some money with it too. So that's the great thing about small business. So give us an idea about some of the products that you're making from the woodworking.
Well, I've branched out some. I started out with these, what I call a nightstand caddy. And the nightstand caddy is made for your home protection and a place to store. This is the first one that I ever built, by the way. A place to store other items, your phone, keys, wallet, whatever it is you want to put on your nightstand, and then a place to hold your pistol in place for you if you need it. So since then, I branched out. I've made a couple of tables. I've made a coffee table and a table to sit next to a chair, the magazine rack in the bottom of it, and I've gotten more interest. I've got orders for a couple of nightstands and a couple of beds to build. I build some units to hang on the wall to display your necklaces, coat racks. So I've really been able to expand quite a bit. And it's my initial desire was to start building furniture. And this nightstand caddy took off, and it's had me so busy. So the furniture is kind of a backup, but it's fun to be able to dabble in all of it. It's been a good journey. Really has.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think especially with furniture, it is a craft. And, it's interesting because I was at FDR's home in Warm Springs, Georgia, actually yesterday.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was looking at the furniture. Yeah. And I was looking at the furniture. And of course, the beds are so much smaller. And it's crazy being that it was only, that short amount of time ago. But, people weren't quite as tall. But I was really looking at the craftsmanship of the furniture, and it was a company in New York that Eleanor Roosevelt had actually purchased from this company, and beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And, we don't see that as much anymore. Things are mass produced. We've got some great companies furniture wise, but something like what you're doing, it brings in some customization, right?
Sure. I do all of my design work here unless somebody wants me to make a piece off of some plans.
Hmm.
I can do that as well. But for the most part, I do all the design work right here at this workbench. So
Wow.
yeah, and I love talking to the customers and finding out what kind of features they want, what different things they want. And one of the beds that I have to build, I've decided to add a feature to it that they didn't ask for. I know they'll want it, they'll really
Hmm.
like it, but that's the design work to me is just as fun as building the furniture
Sure,
and
that
making
brings
these
in the
products.
artistry. Hmm. Yeah,
Hmm.
so I'm sure that, especially with the way people, they want something custom. That's where a company like yours can really come in and help from A to Z because it is their design. So that's fantastic. And also, tell us about some of the woods because they're absolutely beautiful. Even some of the colors that I've never seen before.
Can I show you some of the ones that I have here?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Well, here's one that is made from African Padouk, and this is it's a hardwood. It's very dense. It's very heavy, but it machines up well. It works well and finishes well. This is its natural color. It has a
Beautiful.
clear Danish oil finish on it. So there's that. I also have. I may have to reach for it. Yep. This is a piece of Purple Heart.
Yes, that's beautiful.
And this is the wood's natural color as well. And it comes from Brazil, comes from South
Hmm.
America in the rainforest there. And these woods, along with other exotic woods, zebra wood and so many others, are available at a place not too far from here, over in Indianapolis.
Hmm.
Northwest Lumber is the name of the company. And I made pieces from walnut and from cherry. The first one I showed you was a piece of cherry. Here's one that I combined a couple of woods with. This is hickory and Purple Heart.
That's beautiful.
So, the possibilities are endless.
Hmm.
Um, it's there. I enjoy working with all these different woods. So many of them are so different. Cherry
Right.
is a hardwood. Finishing the cherry sometimes is more difficult than working with hickory, which is much harder. But because of the grain structure, it's really been a learning process. It's been a
I'm
lot of fun to
sure.
figure these things out, and sometimes it can be a little bit frustrating, but it's part of it. So
Right. And I know, we were talking about some of the machinery that you're using. And, it's even utilizing a CNC router, which you think metal, but there are CNC routers that are for wood. And,
mhm.
those type of tools, the automation, even in as you grow, there's so many things that you can do, even robotics and automation with machine tending and different things. So that's going to be exciting, I'm sure, as you grow. So when you decided to kind of go out and start your small business, I think you were doing it in a great way where you did it kind of on the side, with your different hours and maybe on the weekend. And then as you grow, you can start to decide to, make it your main focus. But
Mhm.
I know, have had a lot of help along the way too, and just wanted to
Yes,
kind
I
of
have.
shout out some of the people that have helped you in the
You bet.
past.
My brother Scott out in West Virginia, he has been fantastic. He really has. I've gotten a lot of my equipment from my brother and go out there and help him with some work, and he'll load up my truck the day before I leave, and I come back and I've got a terrific table saw and some other equipment from him. The guys up at B&B Engineering up in Bringhurst, Indiana, Bill Braden and Casey Braden, they've been a big help to me. Huge help. Those guys are tool and die makers, and they're woodworkers
Mhm.
also. So I've gotten a lot of mentoring from those guys. Ryan Baber has been a big help to me. He started me out with some of my equipment, just gave it to me.
That's
So
great.
it's really been fantastic. Jeff Henry, a good friend of mine, he is working on my website right now. It's not up and running yet, but he's working on putting that together. So, like I said, I've really, really had a lot of good outside help. It's been fantastic, really has. Everybody's just
Yeah.
been selfless and giving and helping me to just do what I need to do.
Yeah, and that's a good point that, I mean, we want to push mentorships and, role models in STEM. That's a big thing that I like to push. And you can see how it does make a big difference, because, you know, they may be in a situation where they're able to upgrade their machinery, and, you know, it's
Right.
more of a personal factor where, you know, you're helping someone start something, and it's someone who has a gift that, you know, it's really going to make a huge difference. So I think it's important that we all think in that way, and we can have a lot of new businesses that thrive because of it. So I think that's a good point to make, to shout out people that, you know, give of themselves. So yeah, well, we hope to be able to spotlight you more as we go along, and show other small businesses. Is there anything else you can think of that you'd like to put out there? Made in the USA is obviously very important to all of us, but what else, just as a kind of closing note, to let everyone know about your small business?
Well, just to let them know about my small business, I I love doing this. You know, woodworkers, from what I understand, absolutely hate the finishing process. I guess hate's a strong word, but it's very long, very tedious.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can even scrap a piece in the process when you're trying to finish it and have to start all over again. But so far, I have not found a bit of it that I dislike. And the people that I've dealt with and the customers that I've had, I've sent pieces to Texas, Florida, Virginia, Wyoming. I have one more person to thank. I'm sorry. The gentleman that makes my gun cloths for me, and I give these out to anybody that buys a nightstand caddy. And he makes these out in Wyoming, a company called Cyclo Manufacturing. Uh, I'm sorry, Silco Manufacturing. Silicone gun cloth.
Ah,
Guy by the name of Chris Duncan, and he does a fantastic job. I've sent a couple of pieces out to him. So dealing with the people is really the best part. They've responded well. They've sent me messages back with how one of them was. She said, you know, the piece looked better than the pictures. I try and send pictures along the process to show them, hey, this is where your piece is at right now, and I get responses back from them, good feedback. So it's been, working with the people has really been good. I've really enjoyed it.
right.
I think as a small businessman, you're able to do that more than a large company, you know, because I'm head cook and bottle washer around here, you know, so I do the sales, distribution, manufacturing, you know, a little bit of everything. So like I said, working with the people is really, really the best part, I believe.
Right. And I agree. I think small business, it is about customer service, and it's about more of a personal feel. So that's why we definitely want to, you know, focus and let people know what's out there. So we'll definitely be putting that up on the website. We're creating a directory. So we
Okay.
have companies that, you know, people can go to, that they know it's made in the USA. And what, I know you do have a website that you're almost finished with. So by the time we put this out there, it's probably going to be up and running with a page or so. What is your website?
Very simple. Riggenscustomwoodcraft.com.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much. We'll definitely put that in the comments too. And thanks
Okay.
so much for joining us. And we'll be following up. And I look forward to seeing your products out there even more.
Great. Thanks for having me, Gretchen. I
All
appreciate it.
right. Thanks so much. Take care.